Guys, Mark here, back at Shapiro TV, and we are giving you some gems right here. Long form, we're going to explain to you how to maximize the value through an appraisal. All right? Everybody understands that there's two types of appraisals. All right? There is a residential appraisal, and then there is a commercial appraisal, which is done MAI, which means a Masters of Appraisal Institute. So that's MAI. So you have a regular appraiser, and then you have a commercial appraiser, and he is going to appraise your commercial property he has a master's degree, and they're the best there is. But what you can do is you can cross over and you can use some of his techniques to maximize the value on your 1 to 4 family home. And why do we do that? Because what we're teaching here is we're teaching forced appreciation, and we're talking about doing it quickly in a rehab on a property and then moving the value by having a higher rent per square foot on the property. So we're buying it at a lower barrier of entry, but having a property that's in a market where we're going to be able to rent it on a square footage basis much higher than a market rate job. So the first thing that you need to understand is deals are all based on income, okay? Why? Because income is the determining factor of how much debt you can cover, how much debt you can carry. And real estate is a great business because of leverage, okay? Leverage gives you the ability to lift something that is much heavier than a normal thing. Leverage is a fulcrum, okay? If you know what that is, we'll draw you a picture next time. And this is one of the key elements. So when you buy a property at a low barrier of entry, we strategically improve it, and then we push the per square foot price on rent by using a Section 8 voucher. It's going to be a lot higher than a market rate rent. So we do this by how? Strategic value add. We do the strategic value add, and that is one component of our appraisal. The second component is getting comparable sales in the marketplace. So we don't want to be the first one into that market. We want to be the second or the third person coming into the market where there are already deals that have changed hands and they've been appraised and they've sold for a higher price. So that's going to give us a much easier way to prove our value. Understand? Because a lot of residential appraisers are only going to look at the comparable sales, but we're going to instruct them and push them to understand the income and the comparable sales. The last point of view is moot because it's never going to be the same value proposition. It's always going to be a lot more to rebuild something, that's replacement cost, than it is for what we buy it on. So that number is always going to be higher. But the last key element is I don't want you to get your appraisal issued. I want you to ask the appraiser to give you a draft before they issue it so you can review it and make any comments and changes that will push the value up. It's in draft form. It will save you heartache over and over again. So that's a hack. I wanted to give it to you. You want to learn more hacks? DM me the word real estate and let's go!